Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Hazel Lucia Tarot. I'm your tarot reader, Stephanie, and today's reading, we got a future spouse reading for you. It's your first night with your future spouse. So a few things before we get into the reading. This reading is meant to be about the first night that you spend time with your future spouse, and the level of spiciness may vary. This could be a very simple, you get to know each other, or you spend a very fantastic night talking, having a fun time, etc. Or it could be that you actually, things get a little bit heated, things get a little bit more intimate here. All the piles are very different, and there was an instance where two piles were very similar. I had to redo it, so if you get that pile, you'll know. I'll let you know in it. But we have, oh yeah, and depending on who it is that you end up with, of course, this can be before or after you get married, because sometimes, we don't wait until marriage to spend the night with our spouse, and sometimes we do. Sometimes that's what some people prefer. Regardless, take this however you need to. Of course, not everything is going to resonate because this is a general reading. If you would like a private reading, my information is in the description below. Just email me. Make sure the subject line says tarot reading, otherwise it's going to go to spam. But yeah, so the 5 piles we have here for you. Pile 1, we have an amethyst point. Pile 2, we have a selenite plumpstone. Pile 3, we have a clear quartz point. Pile 4, we have the moss agate jelly bear. And pile 5, we have a Lemurian or Tibetan quartz. I can never really tell which one it is, but it's beautiful regardless. So take a few deep breaths. Think about you, your future spouse. Open your heart, open your mind. I almost said open your crown for some of you. And I'll be ready for your reading whenever you are. Hello there, pile 1. If you chose the amethyst, then we have your reading here for you about your first night with your future spouse. So if you didn't go to the intro, I do urge you to go, so you will get a full, a more in-depth explanation of what this reading is. But in short, we're going to see what the first night with your future spouse is. And this is regardless of whether you are married yet or not, or even if you don't want to marry your future long-term partner, your forever person, your first night with them. I don't know the level of spicy that this will get. I'm just going to look into what will happen between the both of you and how it will go. So let's go ahead and start with the oracles, which can be a bit of a vibe check for you. So if you know for sure that this is not you and the person that you would want to be with, then you can move on to another pile, another reading, maybe another reader. So the connecting energies, which have been pre-selected. We'll get into the tarot after this vibe check. We have the 10 of coins. We have the past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. And then we have these 3 cards. You got 3. It's only supposed to be 1, but whenever I was shuffling for this card, I kept getting more than usual, but I try to keep it to like no more than 3. So we have balance and unity. We have the game of love and sweet surrender. Ooh, okay. This is a long game. There is a long game between you and your person. I do have to censor a lot of these because there's a lot of nudity here. After all, this is meant to be a little bit of a spicy reading. So I feel like you and your person will have known each other for some time before you actually spend a night together. And I'm not just talking about, sensually, intimately. Also, like, there's this feeling that you and your person will have a back and forth for quite some time. It could be years. It could be maybe a few months. Whatever a long time is for you, longer than usual. So for example, if you're the kind of person who's used to sleeping with a person the first night you meet them, this is not you. Or you may make an exception for this person. There's also the feeling that you may just wait a little bit longer with this one. If you have a certain amount of time before you decide to, because it does feel like it leads to something spicy here. Before you, let's say some people wait a week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever the appropriate time or the time that you end up waiting for is here. It ends up being a longer than usual, because 10 of Pentacles is like long-term. It's stability. It's getting to know somebody and getting to trust them. You build the trust with this person because the game of love, balance and unity, and sweet surrender it's quite literally like the steps taken. Like there's a lot of heavy flirtation at first, maybe some back and forth. Then we have balance and unity, where you both finally agree that, okay, we'll date. Okay, we'll be a couple. Okay, we'll go steady. Or, you know, whatever the seriousness of it is. And then the sweet surrender is like you finally just let it happen. So there is a surrender in this particular pile. So the good news is that you will have established something very solid with your person. And I'm going to look at the images just for a little bit, because in this one, he's offering her an apple or a pomegranate. I think that's a pomegranate. Kind of looks like an onion, but I'm pretty sure it's a pomegranate. So the myth of Hades and Persephone does come through here. And then sweet surrender as well. Which in the myth of Hades and Persephone, there's a balancing act, as in, like, he tells her she can go up to see her mom in the non-underworld, whatever the non-underworld was called, but she eats pomegranate seeds so she can come back. So it's kind of like there could be compromise here between the both of you, especially if you and this person are very different. So let's go ahead and look at the cards for you and your person. I'm intending you, pile 1, to be on the left side and your person on the right. Feel free to switch it, but just for the sake of clarity, I'm going to keep you on the left. So we have the sword and the mother. Okay, some of you could literally be mothers. And maybe that was like a big issue or a big deal before you got into another relationship with a person. But the sword lets me know that you're very discerning. If anything, I feel like you almost kind of fought this off a little bit, or like really held your ground. It's almost like you wanted to protect whatever you had going on. If you are not a mother, there is this feeling that you were nurturing yourself, almost like being your own mother and being very discerning about who you let into your life. Mother energy could also mean that your person found you very nurturing, and that's part of the reason that they're really into you. Like maybe you're very kind and nurturing, like you would bring them food, or you would be there for them emotionally, whatever it is that they were looking for, in, especially for those of you who are women. But even if you're not a woman, you could still be very nurturing to somebody. Whatever they were looking for in like a partner, they found that in you. So yeah, it's like mother's discernment. Maybe some of you, your own mother could have been involved somehow. Like maybe you ask her for her opinion, her advice, and she would give you, like, you know, for those of you who have very psychic mothers especially, this could be the case where you're like, what do you think of, you know, this person? And they would tell you exactly what they thought, and maybe you would go back and forth on it. Like, for example, if they had a positive view of them, you weren't sure whether you should trust that or not, or if they had a negative view. It all depends. And then for your person, we have the Starborn. So your person, what's interesting is that they're very gifted in something. They were definitely born for a particular purpose. I feel like they're really special, or they could just be really talented, because I'm getting like, as a child, this person had a very natural gift that they would grow into. Because I'm being shown, like, I've just off the top of my head, I'm being shown like a child prodigy. So maybe they were really good at mathematics when they were a kid, or they got like a scholarship very early, or maybe they started their career very young, like in their teens. Because I've been reading up on like soccer players in Europe, and a lot of them start very young. My goodness, like 14, 15. It's kind of crazy. So your person could be similar. They could have started their business very young. If not, it could also mean that your person, this isn't going to be everybody, of course. It depends on your preferences. Could be slightly younger. So you kind of were a little bit guarded about that. It's like maybe they were 6 years younger and you're like, I don't know if I like that age gap, you know. Take that only if it resonates. But I feel like your person, they are definitely destined for greatness. And I think that's part of the reason why you kind of found it hard to believe that they would be into you, because something about it just didn't make sense. But there's something here about them wanting your person really likes somebody who's very stable, because I feel like their life can be a little bit unstable just due to the amount of success that they may reach either really young or really early in life. So they like stability. Because I'm thinking of like a lot of celebrities out, like male celebrities, or any kind of celebrity actually, that have like childhood sweethearts. Again, reading up on a lot of soccer players. I think Messi has been with his wife since they were teenagers, like really young. I know Kendrick Lamar is the same with his wife. I'm thinking of something similar like that. So some of you could end up being with somebody who's actually very successful or in the public eye. I'm not going to say famous because I don't want to feed that delusion, but at the same time, anything is possible. So that could explain why you would wait some time before you actually close the deal here, seal the deal. But your person comes off as very respectful. Like, yes, they do have a bit of an ego, not gonna lie. I feel like in order to be as successful as they are, either it naturally comes with that, but they also are very respectful here. So just numbers that are coming through. We have 1, so January could be important. 3, March could be important. 5, May or the 5th of any month, 1st of any month, 3rd of any month. The 21st, 28th, 10th, and LXII. What is LX? Is that 60, 62? In case that's an important number. But yeah, with that said, if this sounds like you and your person, if you know this would be a situation that would be something that you would find yourself in, let's go ahead and get into the actual tarot for you and your person. We're just going to see at your how your first night is. I may go back and forth here between the Tarot of Aphrodite and my the Mythos Tarot, both based off Greek myth. So if you choose another pile and you see me using the other one, just understand I'm going back and forth on them. So, pile 1, your first night with your future spouse. First night. You have the 5 of Pentacles, Pena. One of you is not very confident. I'll be honest, either you or your person, maybe the both of you, but there's like a nervousness here. We have the Ace of Swords, Chaos. The Ace of Swords in general are coming through a lot in this reading. We have the Page of Cups. Yeah. Okay, for a lot of you, I feel like this could be your person. Your person could be very nervous, or they could be very, like they try to rationalize a lot about this outing or this night or this connection. I do feel it's like this particular night. Like, I feel like you... With the Pentacles and Cups and Swords, I do feel like it's planned. Otherwise, I would see more Wands here. Wands is spontaneity, but here I do feel like it's planned. We have Queen of Pentacles and the 4 of Swords. They see you as very well put together. They see you as more grounded than them. I think that's what draws them to you, or why they're drawn to you, is because you're very grounded. So some of you could have earth energy or be an earth sign, but even if you're not, again, you're much more grounded than they are. And they like that. They seek the comfort that you have. And again, I do see this a lot in dynamics where like the man is younger or slightly younger and the woman is older. They prefer the stability that just a mature woman has, just because I've seen it a lot. Or vice versa, if it's any gender, of course. I'm just using that example because I see that more than any other. But regardless, I'm seeing... It's almost like they're not even sure if it's going to happen. They're not sure if it's going to happen. They almost back out. They're nervous. And I think you can sense that they're nervous, especially if you're intuitive, especially if you're very grounded. You may be like, yeah, the nervousness is a bit because I had to pause and like ground myself. So likely you and your person will be very similar. It is possible that maybe you are a little bit more experienced than them, but not by much. I feel like it's not by much. I guess it depends. Or they may feel that you are, or they may assume that you are, which is really, or they just, I'm getting a lot of nervousness from your person. All right, what else is going to happen? So yeah, this is definitely leading to spicy time, or it's heavily implied that it will, or they definitely believe that it'll happen. But I feel like you give them the option. It's like, it doesn't have to happen, you know? It's like, it doesn't have to be. Also, this is something very new for either you or your person. There's like a newness to this. This kind of situation is something that maybe neither of you have really been in, regardless of your experience level, which would explain why they're so nervous about it, which is really interesting. because I'm not really picking up on whether either of you have had experience before. It is possible, if you know that's the kind of relationship that you would want, that you would only want to be with someone who's never been with somebody else intimately. That would make a lot of sense. However, I'm not picking up on like wedding night vibes for a lot of you. So oddly enough, I don't feel like it's that. I feel like it could be, this still feels like it's in the dating stage. We have the King of Coins. Yeah, because they don't feel like they're stable. They don't feel like they're ready. And you do. And the thing is that they want to be like you. They want to be someone who is more sure and confident in themselves. Which is funny because maybe you yourself are not that confident or sure either. We have the Three of Cups. This could happen at a friend's house, interestingly. Maybe it happens like, which... Again, I'm not sure of the ages because this makes me think of like early 20s before anybody has like their own house and everybody's hanging out at like parents' house, specifically the house of whoever has like wealthier parents or like whoever's parents have the bigger house. This makes me think of like college. For some of you, that could be the age range when this happens. Take that as it resonates. For others of you, the Three of Cups does make me think that you two are friends, you two are having a great time. You could actually just be hanging out, doing whatever. And then when like, if, for example, if this is at your place, at your own place, you could have invited friends over and you're all hanging out and you're all doing stuff, as friends. And then like everybody leaves and it's just you and your person. And maybe they were planning on that. Maybe you were planning on that. This makes me think, is that the song by Shakira? When all the friends are gone, we still have each other. I think it's underneath your clothes. Yeah. So maybe that song is appropriate here because it is a very sensual, spicy song. But similar vibes where it's more like what's gonna happen, but I feel like your person is nervous, and maybe you are too. We have the High Priestess. One of you is very intuitive. Also, the kind of sensuality that happens between you and your person is very divine. Like, it's not just, getting it out of your system because of your animalistic needs. No, this is like, it feels fated. It feels divine, which I know sounds odd when I bring it up in spicy readings, but it's the difference between making love and just having intercourse. There's an aspect of energy involved, which I feel like you and your person already have very naturally, because I feel like you two are very compatible energetically, oddly enough. And I feel like that's why that happens. That could also be why your person's nervous, because they've never really done that kind of thing before, where the soul is involved, not just, the body parts. So even if your person is like the biggest hoe you've ever known, they'll still be nervous with you because it's different. Not saying that they will be, but just in case they are and you're aware of that and you know that, like, this is going to be different. Also, sorry for calling your person a hoe. I say it with love, but, if they've been around, they've gotten around, then it's going to be different. All right, one last one is the Seven of Swords. And I think the aftermath of this is that you won't really know what to make of it, because the Seven of Swords can be deception, but here it's more like you don't know whether to trust it or not. It's coming through as like trust, because I feel like you're going to be very different people with each other after this happens. And I do feel like this happens before you even make things official, or it could happen around the same time that you make things official with each other. And I think this just solidified it for you, which is really interesting. Again, take that if it resonates. Back of the deck, we have the Knight of Cups. You may not hear from your person for some time. And I don't think it's because they reject you or because you don't want anything to do with each other. I think they just have like an out-of-body experience, or they have like a certain experience with you that they kind of don't know what to make of it. So I do see a little bit of like a runner-chaser dynamic here. I don't feel like you chase, but they definitely run and you're just like, okay, what was that? And then they come back like a day or two later and they're like, hi, I think because so much happens within a span of this night and whatever leads up to this night, that they kind of go through a little bit of an existential crisis, or they have like some anxiety about it. Because I feel a lot of nervousness from your person. It's actually very sweet. It's very endearing. Because the kind of person that they are, they're used to being like the center of attention. They're used to kind of always getting their way. The starborn is somebody who is literally born to be a star. And your person, when they come across this, it's almost like they tell themselves, hey, you're not supposed to be feeling this way. You've accomplished this and this and this and that. But at the same time, they're human and they're genuinely kind. So they're like, but pile one is so wonderful and I don't know if they'll like me. Like, they care a lot about what people think. And maybe that's one thing about you, is that you actually don't care about what people think. And you may even tell this person, hey, it doesn't matter what I think. But then they think, well, no, it does, because I really like you. Like, I really love how sweet this anxiety from them is coming through. Not because it's awful for them. I mean, I do hope your person, I don't feel like it's gonna bother them as the closer the both of you get together, because you start off as friends, because your energy here is coming through as very solid, very stable, very beautiful, and very, very receptive. Like, your Empress energy is just alluring to them, and they're just freaking out like, oh my gosh, regardless of who this person is, by the way, because I did mention that for some of you, this person could have some amount of fame. They're reduced to merely immortal around you. So that's what I'm getting from your person. I think it's very sweet. Do I think it'll be satisfying? Yes, in a different way. If not sensually, then in a way that you kind of got to see a part of your person, a side of your person that really makes them human. And because of that, you like it. Not that they're humiliated or anything. If anything, I feel like they make it worse on themselves, and you're just here like, oh, they're so cute. But yeah, I do feel like after this, you may not hear of them for some time, and you may even be left in what happened. Which, let me read about that, because I don't want that. Yeah, the Fool reverse, Five of Swords. They go back and forth on something. Yeah, they basically have an existential crisis and they come back around. Because the Fool reverse is like, they don't know if they want to have another serious relationship. They don't know if they want... I guess it depends how long it has been since they've been in a relationship. Because the Fool reverse almost feels like they don't know if they want to start that cycle of being in a relationship again. Because I do feel like it happens. For some of you, if this does not end up being something spicy, it could just be like the first night that you both share, you realize that they have anxieties at night, or that you see a side of them that's very different. Because like I said, it could happen. For a lot of you, it will. Like for 70% of you, it will. But for the 30%, nothing may happen because you decide that maybe they're not ready, and you can tell that they're anxious, or maybe they decide to call it off. And you're like, okay. But they do end up coming back around once things get sorted out, once things get balanced out. So yeah, I feel like this is more warning about your person than anything, pile one, that this, they'll be nervous, but it'll be very sensual, very sweet if it happens. Also a lot of psychic activity. You may pick up on them a lot, which is just another fair warning, because that can happen where when people are sexually intimate with each other, one person can pick up on it, and somebody, or if either or both are very intuitive, they can easily pick up on like what they're feeling, what they're thinking. Like, you become psychically attached to somebody, essentially. So do be careful of that, or be forewarned of that, because that has happened to me a few times. So with that said, let's get your closing. I almost said closing costs. Is somebody here into real estate? Maybe that could be something interesting as well. Okay, so these are going to be channeled messages from your person, and then I'm going to do runes as well for pile one. Let's start over. I was getting that feeling for some of you that maybe this could be a connection that never really gets off the ground, or maybe you do have like a little bit of a one-night stand, but then nothing ever happens after that, and then you decide to actually do something. Not to fuel or feed delusions here, but there is something about starting over in this connection. Or, like I mentioned, maybe your person, or even you, isn't ready to start a new relationship, like starting over again with the romantic cycle. So, yeah, we have I can't get over you. Yeah, like you will never leave this person's mind, like never. Like, I'm not saying that they'll obsess over you, but they definitely can't forget you, because whatever you brought into their life is very unique. Like I said, you're something new and different to them. I also heard exclusive, which is interesting. You could also be their first experience of some kind. We have, I am not sure what I am feeling. It takes them a long time to figure out what they are feeling. And not only that, but they could be running away from that. Like any kind of emotional ambiguity or weird stuff that happens, they could be like, I don't know what I'm feeling, but I don't want to figure that out, and I don't care. But I do feel like at some point they start revisiting that feeling. Please don't go. Yeah, I feel like one of you here doesn't want the other person to leave, but they do. Or maybe it's just hard to let this go. I heard something about you. It is yeah, they'll hear something about you through the grapevine from like either a friend or a colleague or somebody in common with the both of you. Because like I said, for some of you, you are already friends. So you could hear about something from like a friend of a friend. And interesting that I said colleague. So some of you could work in like the same industry or could have worked for the same company. I don't think that happens when you get together. I feel like it could be like a former coworker or a former colleague. Or again, if you're in the same industry but different companies, that would also make sense. I've been up all night thinking about you. They'll know they're in deep when they can't stop thinking about you, because I keep getting that. Like they just, because they can't stop thinking about you, they give it a shot. If you let me, I'll take care of you. That's so sweet. I do feel like they want to take care of you at some point. Like, this person's energy is just so sweet. And I feel like there's a lot of ego. Because when I'm talking about the ego, I'm talking about that which kind of gets in the way of their connection to being the best version of themselves, the higher version of themselves. Because I feel like they do need to get a little bit over themselves in some regard. Definitely whatever that anxious part of them is. But I feel like you see their ego come undone, and it's really sweet, and you end up falling for this person. And I think that's why they become your future spouse. Because for a lot of you, I don't think you're coming into this connection thinking that it's going to be anything serious. What you do come in thinking is like, okay, yeah, I'll have fun with you. I'll date you. You know, I like you. Let's see where this goes. But something about them makes them very endearing, and you fall for them. And then back of the deck is I am confused. You will see confusion in this person, but you will see that confusion come undone. All right, let's get your runes. I'm only gonna get 3. All right, we have Urus, which is strength, but I also I connect that to earth energy, specifically Taurus. So somebody here could be a Taurus. But again, this takes time to build. Like whatever this is, you build that relationship over time, and it takes some. You will know this person for a while. We also have what is this? Natis. There are interruptions in this connection quite a bit. And then Gebo, which is actually one of the marriage runes, also can mean gift or exchange. I take it to mean exchange, but a lot of people do see this as marriage. So yeah, it's like you know each other for some time, things become interrupted, but then eventually you choose each other. So this is what I have for you, Pile 1. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, Pile 2. If you chose the selenite palm stone, then we have your reading here for you about your first night with your future spouse. I do urge you to go to the intro to get an explanation of this reading, but essentially, we're looking at the first night with your future spouse. Depending on what kind of night it is, it could be like a first date where everything is, you know, you're just getting to know each other, or it could be the spicy kind. We'll see what this reading brings forth for you. We're going to start with the oracles to get the overall vibe check of this connection. So if you know for sure this wouldn't be the kind of connection you're into, then you can find another pile, another reading, another reader. But let's go ahead and get started to see what this night entails between you and your future spouse. So we're going to get started. We have the 5 of Coins reversed. Ooh. I heard somebody's being daring, because usually 5 of Coins is like a lack, but reversed it's like, I don't care if there's a lack. It's like almost like doing everything in spite of the self-doubt, in spite of the self-consciousness. I kind of like this. It's a very gutsy kind of feeling that I get from this particular card. Even in the card, she's like shrouded in like this little is it a sheet or some sheer kind of a fabric? Fabric, but she looks all, you know, innocent and modest, but reversed, it's like, nah, I'm not going to be that way. We also have, first of all, very spicy images. Passion, a magnetic and seductive quality surrounds you at present. Enjoy it. And erotic bliss. Okay, without having to say much already, I do feel like this is going to be very spicy because it feels like you and your person just really, really have a thing for each other. We'll see where the connection is at. We have the mask. For you, we have the mask. I'm intending you pile 2 to be on the left and your person on the right. Feel free to switch it around. And for your person, we have the vow. Ooh. Okay, so I am getting that you may be masking something when this happens. You could be masking your insecurities. You could be masking the doubts you may have. You could be masking a lot of, just a lot. And if you're the kind of person who's usually very, very cautious, or you take things much more slowly, I feel like in this connection, it's quite the opposite. Or you may just kind of want to have a little bit more fun than usual. Because you and your partner, first of all, you really do trust your partner. Your future spouse, it has the vow. So I feel like this person very early on commits to you, or very early on makes it known that they want to have something serious with you, which really does lower your defenses and makes you want to kind of, I'm not sure if this pile, if you specifically pile 2, are the kind of pile to want to wait a little bit longer to have anything physically intimate with your partner. And it may even be that you don't necessarily get to home base per se, but maybe you do like spicier things than usual. Like maybe you take it to the next step, or maybe you do things here and there that are a little bit more on the erotic side for sure. But I do feel like you're masking when you either meet this person or even like the night of. And I say this because, full disclosure, I had to redo pile 2 because almost word for word, it was very similar to pile 5. If you were in any way deciding between this one and pile 5, I do urge you to go check out pile 5. I just redid it because I didn't want 2 piles that were almost exactly the same. I feel like that's not fair to when I have like 5 piles to choose from. But there might be something there that you may need to hear, just letting you know. But there is something here about you not exactly being completely transparent with the mask. Of course, it could also be that maybe the occasion is about, like, let's say that the night that you both spent together, you end up wearing like a literal mask, like a costume, or maybe you're in and out of costume. I just thought of like, maybe you're in the theater, or maybe it's like a costume party, Halloween night, or any sort of occasion where you have to dress up. Whether it could even be like maybe you're not exactly being yourself that night, but you want to be somebody else. But this is all voluntary. I'm not saying that you're doing it to be fake. It's like you're doing this because you want to try a different version of you, or you want to do something very different. Regardless, I feel like you are committed to your person, or at the very least, you're very solid with your person when this happens, because I feel like they're not bothered by this, or honestly, maybe they're even a little bit turned on by this, which is why you may decide, you know, why wait any longer? Or you may decide, yeah, actually, let's do something else. Regardless, take this only if it resonates. Also, take this to like the level of spiciness, the level of risque that you would be comfortable in said relationship. But regardless, yeah, there's a lot of passion here. And it could also be that your person makes you feel very, very sensual, even if you typically don't feel this way. Like they just have this natural ability to make you feel really, really desired, or really, really attractive, or just really, I don't know, they bring something out in you. And I feel like this is part of the reason that you're able to open up to them very sensually, in a very passionate way, if you will. I do want to look at the images, because in this one, they're just like all over each other. Like it's just adorable. But in this image, you can't see it because there's a lot of nudity. But there's this lady up on not a pedestal, well, yes, a pedestal made of like a seashell or a mushroom. I can't tell. But basically, your person could easily put you on a pedestal And that may do something for you. Maybe that's like a turn on for you as well. But yeah, your person also makes you feel very safe. Very safe. Even when you're going through insecurities, even when you're not feeling that great yourself, they make you feel safe. Important numbers, 17. So the 17th of any month could be important, or maybe you both knew each other when you were 17. We also have, this is 54 and 61. And the number 5, of course. So May could be important, or the 5th of any month could be important. May 17th could be important, which is the day right next to my birthday. Which is really interesting, actually. Because one of my first boyfriends in high school had the birthday next to mine, May 17th, and I was the 18th. It didn't last long. It was just like a high school boyfriend, which to me, the high school relationships don't count just because they would never last me more than a week. Literally every guy that I would date in high school was a fling. I could not stand being in a long-term committed partnership back then. It was kind of silly. But we're actually still friends. Regardless, let's go ahead and move on to... If this sounds like you and your person and you know this would be you, then let's go ahead and move on to the tarot portion. But yeah, very passionate. Like, you both really bring out something within each other. So, first night with your future spouse for pile 2. Seven of Coins. 9 of Wands reversed. Like I said, it's like you know you're going to have something with this person. You know that you're going to be together for a long time. The 7 of Coins is like the work that you, an effort that you put into something. And 9 of Wands is like letting down your defenses. So I really do feel like because you know that you're going to be with your person for some time. For example, if you're somebody who usually chooses to wait after a certain time period before you decide to get physically intimate with someone, you may make that time period shorter for your person. Because I definitely feel like there's a lot of natural chemistry between you and your person. They naturally turn you on. And maybe for some of you, you've never been in a connection where somebody just kind of does something to you, you know, in an erotic or sensual way. And this person, it's like just the way they look at you, just the way they touch your hand, just like small innocent things to you become something more. And I feel like it's mutual for sure. But yeah, I do feel like you make an exception for this person. So if the both of you tried to do something like, oh, you know what, before people have a wedding, they decide that they don't want to partake in anything for like maybe a week or a few days or whatever, so that the honeymoon night can be, or the wedding night can be really explosive, let's say. You may not be able to do that with this person. Like, you may not be able to wait just because you really do adore each other. And I do feel like it's a combination of love and eroticism. It's not just purely sensual. It's not just purely, you know, purely physical intimacy. There's more to that here. All right, first night with your future spouse. So for this one, we definitely are talking about, obviously, the time you both partake in intercourse, the Tower. Yeah, it's unexpected. It's unexpected. I just think it's cute because I'm thinking of like two people who are like, oh, we're gonna wait until marriage, but then something happens and it's like, oh, I guess we're not waiting till marriage. That's okay. But maybe you're already engaged, or like I said, you already know that you're gonna be each other's forever person. We have the Queen of Wands. Like I said, they make you feel really, really good. Like, they just bring out something in you, especially if you're a woman. Like, they make you, I just heard they make you want to be bad. They make you want to be naughty. Like, there's just something about your person that drives you crazy. I love it. It's cute. It makes me think of Shakira's song, Ciega Sordomuda, which is about a woman who just can't think of anything but, like, having S with her man. So she's, like, what's it called, deaf, blind, and mute because of it. It's like, I'm just a body here and this person has made me, honestly, your hormones could be at play here as well. regardless of your genders, of course. I'm just using the female perspective because that's what I am and that's what most of my viewers are. But even if you're a guy, it's like they do something to you. Basically, it's bodily chemistry that brings the both of you together. But I also believe that you are definitely in a committed partnership. Other piles definitely didn't have that, at least in the beginning, but they do end up being the future spouse. But this one, you know right away. We have Justice reversed. There is a little bit of there could be a bit of a moral dilemma here, I'll be honest. Just because I feel like some of you thought it would be different. Not the act itself, but like how it happens. But you may also kind of wonder, this may also reshape the way you view intercourse in general. Like maybe you felt like you were making too big of a deal of it, or maybe it feels very natural to you. I guess it depends, because especially if this person ends up being like your very first person or your very first time, it's going to change the way you view it. And you're going to be like, this was what everybody was making a big deal about, or this is what I was holding off on, or just, I feel like, especially if you come from a background where things like this were not really spoken about, there can be so many anxieties and insecurities surrounding it. I say this because I've dealt with people who come from like very strict religious backgrounds where once they have this, whether it's with their spouse or anyone else, their mind is literally blown forever, you know, in a weird way, or they just accept certain things of it and don't question it. I do feel like this changes your perspective. Not only that, but you may feel like there are certain things that are just not fair about the way society views it or treats it, or specifically the way society treats one specific gender about it, or if you're LGBTQ, how society treats your specific demographic, whatever the case is, or like, I guess depending on your background. Because justice makes me feel like you almost wished it had happened sooner. You almost wish you had started doing this earlier, or you wish you hadn't made such a big deal about it in previous connections. It almost makes you wonder, like if you had an ex that you never took it there with, you're kind of like, I wonder how that would have been. So it opens up curiosity, but not in a way that would make you, you know, stray from your person. It's just like you kind of wonder how that would have gone. All right, anything else? We have the Magician reversed. The only issue I see here is that some of you may not know how to initiate it the next time around, because maybe you both said, okay, it's just a one-time thing, but then you want more. But then you want more and you don't know how to bring it up, which is cute. I'm sorry, I think this is cute. So maybe let's say you did it one time and it's like, I want to try it again, but you don't know what to say. Or you may both have a thing where like you don't talk about it. Like you talk about it that first night, but then you don't mention it. I'm wondering if for some of you, and this is just like an example, I'm not saying this is everybody, because hopefully everybody who's watching this is over 18. But let's say you're really young when you meet each other, like early 20s or something. And you kind of, this is like your person and you just do it the one time, but then you decide not to again for whatever reason. But then you kind of look at each other and it's like, do you want to? I'm wondering if for some of you, if you're not in a relationship when you meet this, when you have your intercourse with this person, you say it's going to be like a one-time thing, or it's only going to happen once, but like you really like it and you kind of want to try again. And from there, it becomes something more serious. Again, for whatever reason, this scenario, between you and your person, everything is just adorable. Like the way the both of you are just really sensually interested in each other, the way that you both kind of make it a bit playful, because there is something playful and experimental here between you and your partner, or the person who ends up being your future spouse. Yeah, it's like unexpected. It happens. I'm trying to think of a lot of the spicy songs that I grew up with are actually in Spanish, so I'm trying not to bring them in here too much, because that was another issue I had with the original second one, is too many songs are coming through, and I don't know how you guys feel about me bringing up songs. Some people like it, some people don't. But for some people, it's the confirmation that they need. Okay, we have death reversed. Yeah, like I said, it transforms you. You definitely both transform. For some of you, you could have started off as friends. You could have started off as friends, but maybe in like a moment of weakness, you're both just, you know, really, you know, just really revved up, let's say, and you decide to do it. And it's like, okay, but like just this one time, but you like it so much. And maybe that's why the justice is reversed. Like you kind of wonder why you didn't take a chance on each other or this person. Yeah, I do get the feeling that some of you, if you're not in a committed relationship with this person, you could just be friends, or you could just be like, yeah, friends who just hang out one night and you're like, do you want to take it there? And they're like, yeah, sure, but don't tell the rest of our friends. You know, things like that. Like maybe you don't want it to leak out to the rest of your group or community or friends that you're into this. Or that you're into each other. Kind of like not to upset the dynamic here. We have the Ace of Swords, but you're like, yeah, but you're like, screw it. Because this, there is something fated about this particular night, is that it's meant to really teach you and show you a lot about yourself, about the person that you are with, and also just, you know, us in general. Because you have a lot of major arcana cards, which means massive transformation and pivotal important events or points in your life. Let's get one more card. Just because I like the energy of this one. I think it's cute. It takes me back to when I was younger and stuff. So, and even regardless of your age here, you and this person getting together will make you feel young. Like, you know, it might make you feel like lovesick teenagers. It might make you feel like you're young again, regardless of your age, of course. Which I think, to me, those are always the best kinds of relationships. If they can turn back the clock on you emotionally, then I think it's good for your health. And the Sun reversed. Or there is something here about confidence. Like I said, this person really boosts your confidence. Maybe they hype you up a lot. Maybe they just really make you feel good. Like you adore each other. You could be the kind of people that are always giving each other compliments. Like if somebody's wearing a particular outfit, they're like, you know, just always gassing you up and saying positive things about you. Like maybe you're wearing like a really cute outfit that night or something really adorable and it's just slightly risque. And maybe you were feeling a little bit self-conscious about it, but they're like, nah, that dress looks good on you. Those shorts look good on you. You know, whatever it is. And it's like you kind of, there's definitely a lot of heavy flirtation leading up to this. I can guarantee you that. Your person is a bit of a flirt, a heavy flirt. However, I think it takes like a different tone when it comes to this. Because the Tower, Death, and the Magician is almost like they were waiting for an excuse to confess to you or to like say something a little bit more bold. That's cute. For some of you, if it's not physical intercourse, this could even be like texting. Like maybe you're sexting or something along those lines. But yeah, it makes you feel good. And you make them feel good as well, or they definitely enjoy it. Back of the deck is the Eight of Cups reversed. They make you feel something again. Four of Swords reversed as well. Yeah, they make you feel something again. Page of Cups. It is possible for a lot of you that if you're not already in a committed partnership, this could be a friendship where it leads to something else. It makes me think, I keep hearing this song by the Argentinian group Miranda. What's it called? The song is called Perfecta. And the song is basically about how love at first sight doesn't work on either people, but like one night they were just kind of like talking and drinking and they just, oops, they did it, you know? And after that, it's like, I don't want anyone else but you now. It's like, you're perfect for me. So I'm kind of getting a little bit of that, which is really cute. So yeah, if this person isn't already your boyfriend, girlfriend, when you partake in this, then you're definitely friends, like good friends, or friends that are mutually attracted to each other, and maybe you're both aware of that. But yeah, I'm sorry, this is really cute. For whatever reason, this whole reading is just like adorable. And maybe your guides view it that way too. 7 of Wands reversed, 7 of Cups reversed. I will say though, the masculine may have a more conflicted time of this than you, pile 2. Because I am putting you in feminine energy. But the masculine isn't coming through as much. Other than they really like you. But yeah, so this is what I have for your first night. Together with your future spouse. Let's move on to their channeled messages. To close off your reading. Lots of censorship here, jeez. And I know this deck just has a lot of nudity, but I take that into account where like the things you say to each other could be, yeah, like I feel like this gets really dirty really fast, you and your person, which is cute. Okay, so channeled messages from your future spouse. Regarding your first night. For pile 2. We have I can't get over you. Yeah, you kind of stay in their mind after that. They cannot get over you. I have a hard time communicating. I do feel like you take on a lot of the initiative here because you know they're not really good at communicating. Maybe they've expressed this or maybe you've just noted this. But I think it surprises you when this happens, how suddenly their communication may be a little bit different, or they may communicate a little bit more, but maybe after the fact, they still have a hard time communicating. I am not sure what I am feeling. This could be the both of you. It's almost like a little bit of conflicted feelings, but also, you know, when the hormones just kind of take over your mind and body and it's like you're at their mercy and not at your own. That's kind of how I'm also getting, like the both of you just have like this uncontrollable chemistry and you both adore it. But there could also be just like a slight sense of guilt, even though you liked it. Like there's a lot of conflicting feelings here between you and your person. Also the friendship between you and your person, because like I said, for some of you, if you're not already in a connection with your person when this happens, you could just be friends. And maybe you're kind of worried that the friendship is ruined or that, you know, whatever progresses in the future is ruined or marred or scarred by this. Because I do feel just a little bit of anxious energy from you and or your person. I don't feel ready. Look, and it's reversed. Because like I said, I feel like somebody here is hesitant or somebody here was really, really set on waiting a little bit longer before this happened with any person or with this person. But it's like that night or whatever happens that night, because I don't feel like there's substances or anything like that involved. I think it's just pure hormones. I think it's like the chemicals within the human body that are like, yeah, I want that one, or yeah, I need a mate right now. I feel like that overtakes it. But I also feel like it's divinely guided, because for some of you, not all of you, there could be, let's just call it some happy accidents that come out of this. Whether that's children, whether that's anything else that comes out of it. I feel like the universe sometimes does guide people through their hormones. Not always, just so that they can get something going, you know. Excuse me, not my throat getting super dry. Not to excuse risky behavior between people, of course, but sometimes things just happen the way they happen. We also have, I'm planning on calling you soon. I've been up all night thinking about you. Yeah. Interesting that this person who has a hard time communicating suddenly wants to call you and communicate with you. Maybe they do and they don't know what to say. Which, I'm sorry, your person's coming through as really adorable. It's like they call you or they FaceTime you or they send you a message and it's like, okay, wait, what? Or maybe they even ask to meet you in person. It's like, okay, what are we talking about? And they're like, you know, and then and they're like, let's go here first, or this is, you know, I feel like they might stall a little bit. I'm sorry, your person's energy is really adorable, as is yours, pile 2. I hope you're not with someone else. Yeah, for those of you for whom you were not already together when this happened, they are kind of wondering if you're seeing anybody else and maybe they want to make it exclusive, or maybe this kind of like pushes them to want to make it exclusive with you or to claim you. Because like I said, your person has the vow. Maybe they're the ones who vowed to wait a little bit longer before they had anything physically intimate. But then, you know, like I said, the hormones went out. The libido wins out here. And that kind of makes them want to claim you. Not saying that you should use intercourse as a reason to, quote, quote, lock someone in. But, you know, that could be the case here for a lot of you. I never met anyone like you before. Yeah, you're very different. Even if you both have had experiences with other people before or several other experiences, there is something very different about this particular instance. Reach out to me, please. Yeah, I feel like they're going to reach out because they want you to reach out, but maybe you don't. Maybe you forget to, or maybe you don't have the time. Maybe your pride prevents you from doing so, whatever the case is. I feel like they're going to be the ones who have to step up after this, which is really cute. Because yeah, like the passion is there. The erotic bliss is there. It's also going to be a really great night. So sorry I didn't give so many details about the specific night, because that's not as interesting as the circumstances surrounding it, because I feel like it's going to be really good. You know, when the hormones are kicking in and you're both really, really into it, it just can't help but be good. Also, the way you both just meld into each other is very natural. I feel like you both do things that are just very, you're both into it. Like you both really like it. Yeah, I'm trying not to make this too 18 plus, but for this one, it's definitely there. Because not all piles had that. All right, I'm going to get your runes and we're going to close you off. We have Lagos, healing, or lake. So water could be important in general, or yeah, maybe this even takes place in water for some of you, or near water, like a lake or a river or an ocean, a beach. We have Ingus, which, no, is this, what is this one called? Othala? Which is a rune of, yeah, it's Othala. Othala. So this is about prosperity, inheritance, maybe even, yeah, I think it's my little page says birth as well. I wonder if for some of you, you end up having a child sooner than you want, but you're okay with that because maybe you both wanted one, or maybe it just kind of brings you closer together in some type of way. And then we also have, this is Dagas, the home. Okay, this takes place in somebody's home for sure. Or sorry, no. Day, it means day. This could happen during the day. Maybe, yeah, and that's interesting because I'm doing this like in the morning. I think the previous version of this pile I had to do at night, as I did with pile 5. Very opposite energies actually, now that I think about it, with pile 5 in here. So maybe not everything will resonate. Regardless, a lake house could be important. Maybe somebody's family owns some property near water. But I'm seeing, okay, for whatever reason, I'm seeing the location. If it's not outside for some of you, then it could be like literally a living room. It's not a bedroom, oddly enough. Maybe you're like house sitting your parents' house, or like everybody's gone from the home. Again, I'm thinking of like when you're young and you're just waiting to be alone. But I don't think the majority of you are young. It just might bring back those vibes with this person regardless of your age. But anyway, pile 2, this is where I leave it. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile 3. If you chose the clear quartz crystal, then we have a reading here for you about your first night with your future spouse. If you haven't seen the intro, I do urge you to do so because it will explain more what this is about. But essentially, this is the first night that you may spend with your future spouse, or the person who ends up being your future spouse. Level of spiciness may vary by pile, or depending on the situation. So we're going to start with the oracles to get a vibe check on you and your person, to make sure that this would be the kind of relationship that you would be in. I'm intending you, pile 3, to be on the left and your person on the right. Feel free to switch it around if you feel like you're more one than the other. But let's get started. So the connecting energies, we have Let's start with the heart. When you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those that you love. We also have Priestess of Wands. I love this image because it's Lady Godiva. I forget what the name of this classical painting is called. I'm just going to censor her booty there a little bit. But Priestess of Wands. We also have Uninhibited and Released. Okay. We have A Loving Gaze and Body Positive. Okay. I feel like I read these out of order. A Loving Gaze, Body Positive, and Uninhibited and Release. So, ooh, a slow burn for a lot of you here. A slow burn. Even though we do have the Knight of Wands here. It's like it's slow, that it's fast. Like it all happened. Definitely building up tension here is what I'm getting for you and your person. Let's go ahead and get your individual cards for pile 3. We have the Ring and Aletheia. Ooh, for some of you, you may at least wait until you're what's the word? Not just committed, engaged. You may wait until you're at least engaged before you do anything physical. Because for you, I feel like you need commitment. The ring here definitely signifies commitment. Somebody that you know you're going to be with for a long time before you give it up to this person. Let's put it that way. Because Aletheia also stands for truth. It's like you need to know that something is right. You need to know that something is true. Even if you've dated around before, even if in the past you've been more likely to, just sleep with anyone, a week into it, or like, a lot earlier. With this connection, you wait a little bit longer. And why that is, we can look at into the tarot. Because I get the feeling for a lot of you, you are not always this way. But with this one, you set standards. With this one, you were like, nah, I'm going to make them wait for it. Nah, I need to see a ring before I do anything crazy. Or even if you don't, you may decide to, I don't know, there's just like, you're definitely, I heard edging. Maybe you're edging this person. Like you're keeping this person on their toes, whoever it is that you end up marrying, because you want to make sure that they last a long time. It's not that you're testing them or playing games with them. It's more like you're setting boundaries, you're setting higher standards for this one. And for your person, we have the Forest. Ooh. And the Mentor. Oh, I love this. Because the forest can symbolize not just a literal forest, if that is of importance for some of you, but also vast knowledge. Your person is very smart, very intelligent. Mentor makes me wonder if this person is somebody who is literally a mentor to you at some point in your life. Maybe that's how you met, or maybe that's what they end up being, or that's how you build this connection. Like maybe they're a friend who turns into a mentor, or maybe they're a mentor that you eventually turn into friends. But there's definitely tension here. Like whatever you both have, like you are very very deeply attracted to each other romantically. I do get the sense that you and this person will have known each other for some time. Not only that, but you and your person are on a very similar wavelength, and that they wouldn't want to... They're smart enough to get to know you before they want to pursue anything with you as well. Like, I think you have very similar ways of thinking. Where you want someone who's fully committed, they also want to make sure that you're somebody that they would be willing to commit to, because it's not just about one person being somebody's obsession or somebody that they're completely committed to. Commitment goes both ways. And this person, I feel like they either have gotten into connections way too soon, or they put all their money into one person only to find out that it wasn't going to work out. So you both have a similar past, or at least very similar experiences in previous relationships, because I do get the sense that the both of you are you definitely have experience when you come into this connection. Like you're not each other's first anything. You're not each other's first romantic experience. You're not each other's first, it's not young love. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like more mature love. Like you've been around the block a few times. You've dated in and out. You've gotten to know the world as well, because I'm getting with these two rainbows, for whatever reason, it's coming through as experience, which I've never really read the rainbow as experience. But when you think about it, if each color of the rainbow is like a badge, it's like you've gone here, you've done this, you've done that. You both are very well-rounded people when you meet each other. So it's not like you get together and it's, you know, very brash and sudden. However, the intimacy may be because you've been building up to it. Because I do get the sense with a loving gaze that you both kind of just, you've had an eye on each other for a while. The feeling is mutual. Body positive is interesting because I feel like either you meet somewhere where like being physically athletic or healthy could be important. So this could be the gym, or maybe hiking because of the forest, or anywhere outdoors. Like if you like to walk outside, you could meet there, or at a park, or a beach, somewhere where like the body is on display and they see the body, or they see how you move and they like that. Or you could be working on your body positivity. Maybe you are doing great things for your body. Maybe you're eating healthier. Yeah, definitely lots of physical attraction between you and your person, but that's not the only thing that brings you together. What brings you together is the fact that you're both very intelligent, because your person understands that you speak truth. When they see Aletheia here within you, the truth here, it's almost like a lot of you could be very intuitive, and they definitely appreciate wisdom. This person is going to be at a point in their life, at a place in life, where they appreciate an intelligent person, not just a hot person, not just a fun person, not just a rich person, an intelligent one. Because you could have all of the previous things before. Those can fade, those can be lost with time, but wisdom can make you move in different ways, can make you even feel different. This person definitely picks up on vibes, as do you. And that's really what attracts you to each other. Like the attraction is physical, yes, but also spiritual. And then uninhibited and released lets me know. I can't show the image because it's very wild, but let me just go ahead and say they're definitely partaking in some crazy wild stuff there. So you're definitely very physically compatible in bed. And I feel like that happens very quickly. So you may be friends for a long time. You may even date for a while. And when it finally happens, it's just like the best thing ever. This definitely could be a pile where you wait until like the night of your honeymoon, night of wedding, or some particular marker of importance within your connection, if none of those. Because like I said, the ring here, it's like maybe you decide not to do anything until you're committed, or literally have an engagement ring. Because with this one, I do, for not for everybody, but for a lot of you, I definitely see marriage. For others of you, you may not marry because you decide not to for other reasons, whether it's because you have, I feel like this couple would only marry with like a prenup, because you may already have like wealth from elsewhere. You may have, you know, assets here and there. That's only going to be a few of you. Or you may have a business and you don't want it to transfer over to them. Like, I feel like you take other things besides just your love into consideration when getting married. Same thing with children. If you already have them from a previous marriage, which could be possible here. Because like I said, there's experience in this connection, but that's what makes this so much better, is that you already know what you like, what you don't like, what you want, what you don't want. Not only that, but like there's a sense of fun in this one. Like the S is very, very much amazing. Numbers that are of importance here could be, we have 36 here. 36 with the forest. We have 6 twice actually. So June could be important. Or you could both be a life path 6, which is a number of partnerships. 6 are the people who bring their communities together. They care a lot about their inner circle. They care a lot about their family. We have 27, 15. Those could be important dates or ages. But yeah, you and this person, it's all good. Like whatever this is, it's amazing. It's good. It's solid. And it's sexy. Like whatever this is, like I love it. So if this sounds like you and your person, let's go ahead and get into your tarot to see the first night with your person. I really do love this. If you've never seen the image of Lady Godiva, she... what did she do? She got naked on a horse and ran through the streets in protest of something. She was protesting something. And similarly, maybe you both have very strong causes. Like maybe you both think of like, maybe you have strong causes outside of yourselves that you both stand for. And you could even find that very, very physically appealing. You know how when you're attracted to somebody because of their morals or because of what they stand up for? You and this person definitely have that. Like it's, like for example, when you see... like, let's say you're attracted to a man or men. When you see men stand up for women's rights, that can be very attractive. Or when you see someone stand up for, you know, starving children in the world, somebody can find that attractive. Like, it's more than just physical appearance. Because I'm being shown Shakira and how she does a lot of humanitarian causes. And a lot of people may find that very attractive within her. Like, yes, she's a very beautiful woman, but she also does a lot with her wealth and her power and influence. So I'm getting that kind of vibe from this pile, where you like what each other stands for. And now I'm hearing Aaron Burr, or no, Hamilton, the musical Hamilton. What does he say? If you don't stand for anything, what will you fall for? Yeah, I'm hearing that. So, wow. Okay, I like this pile. Let's go ahead and get your first night, pile 3. That could have been confirmation for some of you. Okay, we have the 6 of Cups reversed. I'm getting nostalgia. I'm getting nostalgia to something you can't have. This could be something you left behind or somebody who had passed on. I'm getting nostalgia. Or it could also be that if you and your person had known each other for a long time, you rekindle this through... Honestly, you could rekindle this through a retrograde. I'm not going to lie. Like, I know everybody hates on Mercury and Venus retrogrades and Mars retrogrades, but the positive thing about them is that they can bring back things that you had lost before. Literally, if you clean up your house or your room, when it's retrograde, you will find stuff you forgot about. And this kind of feels similar to this. You have the 6 of Wands. In this case, it could even be the attraction you had for each other. So let's say you tried a date and then it didn't work out and then you left it behind for some time. But then it gets rekindled. Either in like a party, a celebration, or a conversation. Like you're talking or you're out and about with friends and you remember why you were really into each other for a long time. I'm not saying this is an ex. I mean, it could be. But it has to be one that was positive. Like you ended things positively. This is not toxic at all. Like whatever this is, it's not toxic. Or if it was, things have been so much better now. Like you will know because there's nothing negative here. I'm not trying to give you delusions about an ex that did you wrong. This one is one that things never got off the ground or things have changed so much that you're different people. Because it's kind of like you forgot how you felt about each other until you started seeing each other more, talking to each other more, or hanging out around each other. Like I said, very mature vibes here. I feel like you're going to be older. Definitely in like your late 20s, early 30s, 40s, 50s possibly. We have the King of Wands. We have the ego subdued. There could even be an apology because I feel like your person is used to being very right and very in control because they did get the mentor. So I feel like they're very smart and they know when they're doing wrong. They know when they're doing right. But here's the thing about smart people sometimes. When they're really young and they know they're smarter than everybody, they use that ability to get away with a lot of dumb stuff. Or to kind of, I hesitate to call it gaslight, but it can sometimes come off that way. Or they use their intelligence for dumb things. Or they use it to have advantages. Take that as it resonates. But it definitely feels like one of you, or the both of you, were... I feel like this is more your person. In the past, they would have used their power for different things, or they would have been attracted to the wrong kind of person. Like they would have gone for looks over personality at any given time. And that would only leave them in a relationship where they're really frustrated with the person because, oh yeah, they're super attractive. They're a 11 out of 10, but they're so dumb. And it's like, they don't want to be, you know, they needed someone on their level. Sorry, not to call this hypothetical person dumb, but it's like, you know, this person was not at their level, or they had different values, but they just wanted like the person who made them look good or the person that was acceptable. And, you know, I feel like there's a little bit of humbling on your person's part. Maybe you as well, pile 3, but I feel like it's more your person. We have the Queen of Wands. Look at that. I love it. Counterpart energy for sure, because you're both very similar. The only difference is that your person had to go through a little bit of maturing, humbling, seeing that they were wrong. But again, this was not something toxic, like, or if it was, it definitely isn't now. If this is someone who's never wronged you, I feel like even then they had to overcome something like their ego, like feeling like they had to be a millionaire before they could get married, or feeling like they had to succeed at something without realizing that sometimes success comes from the people around you. So there's definitely a lot of humbling here. Also, lots of physical attraction. I wonder if you were like on and off flirting or on and off. I don't feel like you were. But if you were, that could explain why you set standards for this person. So let's say in the past, whether it was with this person or somebody else, you would, like I said, you would just be willing to sleep with them right away. This time it's like, nope, you got to work for it. This time you set your standards. It's like you've learned and you hope that your person learned too. And once it's like you do give them tests, but they're positive ones because it's showing where their maturity is or how willing they are to go with you. Like how much do they want you? And they prove themselves. They definitely do prove themselves. Yeah, the 10 of Wands. Because they make your life easier. Ooh, I like this. Okay. First night. That could also be how your first night plays. I also feel like you don't see this one coming. Whoever it is, I feel like you don't see this one coming. If this was someone you didn't have a romantic relationship with, this could be someone who was always a friend, but you really didn't start seeing them differently until later. Until much later. This one, okay, these two wanted to come out. We have the 7 of Cups and Justice. I do feel like, sorry, I know this is supposed to be about your first night, but I feel like how it leads up to this kind of, sorry, excuse me. It's important because my throat chakra is getting all weird. It's also getting all weird because my neighbors keep smoking weed and I don't do well with that. It feels like you have a lot of options, or in the past you both had several options. And if it's not people, it could be like life paths. Like maybe you chose to move somewhere or to study something or to whatever it was. It's like the alignment wasn't there. You were not ready. Because Justice feels like, I heard Cupid, love is blind. Or is Cupid blind? One of those two. I just heard love is blind. So I feel like there's something about understanding that within this connection, you're very physically attracted to each other. Even if you're not each other's type, or even if in the past you wouldn't have gone for each other, something shifts, something changed because you realize that you like how you make each other feel. And you like how fair things are in this connection. You like how there's a lot of karmic justice in this connection as well, for some reason. Make it more cards for you. We have Death. Yeah, the transformation that you both go through is immense. And it's even likely, 4 of Pentacles reversed, that you both transform by being with each other. So, I'll be honest, this connection is really interesting because it's almost like somebody here fights for the other person. Because I feel like there's like a memory of the past, like what if things could have been different? Like I feel like you both have this conversation. It's like, what if things had turned out different? It's like, what if we had decided to do this instead? How would things have changed? You have this conversation, and within this conversation you kind of remember how things used to be, and you kind of wonder if things can be again. But it's like it can't be the same this time around because you limit your access to this person, or you change the way things are, and it's like this person proves themselves to you. I feel like this dynamic would really be, I mean, it could be a same-sex kind of dynamic, but I feel like this would be more if you were a woman and they were a man. I don't really see that working the other way around, though it could, of course. But I'm just seeing this only because the King of Wands is reversed and the Queen of Wands is upright. For a lot of you, this connection may start with giving a person a second chance, but again, only if it wasn't, like if this was something where somebody was if there was mistreatment of any kind, I don't see that being the case. This would be more like you dated, but it didn't go anywhere, or you both decided to leave on good terms, or just, nothing progressed past, I don't know, like a kiss and a handshake and a hug or whatever. And even then, back of the deck, we have the Ace of Cups. Yeah, there's a renewal here. So your first night with your future spouse, I don't think that's as important as how this happens, because like I said, again, not feeding delusions about like an ex coming back or anything, but I feel like there's a lot of maturity here. In terms of like your first night, it's going to be very spicy. Like the release you get from that night is going to be something else. This is what I'm getting, because you both have a lot of physical attraction and compatibility towards each other. I'm seeing you both be into the same things. I'm also seeing, I do like that the Queen of Wands is Psyche here, because Psyche, I keep bringing her up, and I brought her up in a previous pile. Or if you're coming from that pile and you're here, this could just be confirmation. But she was considered very beautiful, but when she married Cupid, she couldn't see him. I forget how this happens. Did he blindfold her? I don't know. But she couldn't see him, and the promise she had to keep was that she wouldn't try to see him because he was an important figure. And it's almost like she had to learn how to love the, you know, quote, quote, the man, the person who she couldn't see but provided for her, who treated her very kindly, who set her up in a castle very lovingly. I kind of wonder how that happened. I think he only came at night. I have to reread that myth. But regardless, there's a lot of success here in this connection. The both of you could easily build businesses and be very successful here because you're both very hardworking or have a very strong sense of like intelligence when it comes to building long-lasting wealth. You're both very lucky when it comes to finances. You're also both very athletic. So I do feel, again, you could channel a lot of this sensual tension into working out or making money or literally anything else. What else is coming through? But yeah, lots of definitely very transformative. This connection is super transformative. The people you are when you begin are not going to be the same people that you end up marrying, because you change too as well, pile 3. Sorry, I'm trying to get more spicy details about this. Just know it's going to be good. Like, oh my God, it's going to be so good. And I think you both knew it was going to be good. Like, that wasn't the issue. I think the biggest issue for the both of you is how things can be righted, how things can be different. But things get easier. Whatever this is, it's like things get so much easier with each other. Ace of Cups, and then we have the Page of Cups, lovely. Ace of Swords. My God, 4 of Wands. Yeah, nothing but success. It's like success keeps coming. The only issue I may see is that you both have a tendency to think about the past a little bit too much. But don't let that past drag you, because again, you're like new people when you meet each other, or when you revisit each other, when you revisit this connection, and that's when you decide to make it official. So don't let the past drag you down. If this is a new person, because you know for sure you never want to be with anyone you've had to deal with in the past, this person will remind you a lot of a past person. They'll remind you a lot, and you may have doubts because you're bringing that baggage into this new person, which is not fair to this new person because they are not the past person. They may have a similar vibe. They may have a similar look, even if you have a specific physical type. Or they could, there's going to be a strong similarity between this person and someone from the past, but understand that it's someone very different. And likewise, you could have a similar thing from someone from their past. I can tell this is starting to become one of those where, like, what do they look like? I do have a reading on what your future spouse may look like. You may want to go to that one. Or I could do another one because that one was crazy successful. But, okay, let's move on to your final cards, which are channeled messages from your person. Yeah, sorry, I can't say... Sorry I didn't get much about the first night other than it's going to be so good. I promise. Because you're both very physically and emotionally and spiritually attracted to each other. So from your future spouse, your future person, channeled messages. I'm planning on calling you soon. Here's the thing. I feel like they've been wanting to call you or message you or contact you in some way for some time, but they didn't know how. Because I do feel like there's a period of separation or a period of distance between you and your person, whether that's physical or just... you may not talk for some time. We have, I can't get over you. Yeah, they don't get over you. Or they can't get over the relationship, the situation. We have, I don't know what to do. I'll be honest, your person, it's like they want you back, but they don't know how to initiate this or what to do about it. But I would still wait for them. Pile 3, if there's anything this pile is letting me know, is that you're meant to be an Empress energy, Queen energy. They have to do a lot more work than you should ever do. We have, I heard something about you. Okay, since these are all reversed, I'm just going to make them upright because I want to read them. Okay, I heard something about you. I feel, oh, I keep seeing a story play in this one. Because I feel like they hear something about you. It's like they're looking for an excuse to talk to you. And then they hear something about you where they have to say something, you know? Like maybe you got a promotion, or maybe it's your birthday, or maybe, in my case, maybe your team didn't make it through to the World Cup. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry for your team. The way everybody just not congratulated, but, you know, consoled me after Mexico lost. It was just like, they're like, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, man, you guys don't check up on me any other time of the year. But it was kind of hilarious. But regardless, something where like everybody feels the need to say something. They may hear about it and they may say something. We have, I want to see you so bad. Yeah, this person wants to see you. But they may not even be admitting this to themselves, or like they miss you and they want to say something, but instead they use work as an excuse to like drown out everything, or to disassociate, which, you know, I understand. I want more than what we have. There's a lot that they don't... Your person likes to keep their little feelings and thoughts to themselves, and they never share it with anybody. And maybe you were one of the few people that they would share it with. We have, my intentions can be selfish at times. Maybe they've even told you this. Maybe they've even told you that they feel like they're being selfish with you sometimes. And, ooh, not that don't trust me and I am confused. I feel like they don't trust themselves sometimes. Or at least this used to be the case. Again, I am not trying to feed you delusions. I may do a Delulu check reading soon, or you could go get a Delulu check elsewhere, because this is not someone who mistreated you. This is not someone that made you cry. This is not someone, like maybe they made you annoyed or mad, but this is not someone who did you wrong. But I do feel like this person could have been confused about something in the past, and then things end up resolving. Back of the deck. I have a hard time communicating. Yeah, I can tell, because why are you coming through in a reading, pile 3's person? But I feel I'm just sending a lot of clarity your way, pile 3. Let's get your runes. All right, we have, this is Wunjo, which I think is happiness, joy. Happiness and joy, yes. We have Lagos. A lake could be important. It literally means lake, but it also deals with emotions and healing. I think is what my booklet mentioned. So water could be important. Maybe they live near water, or you live near water. A place where there is water could be important. So an ocean, a lake, a river. Maybe this person works in water. Like maybe they work on the ocean, or that's going to be some of you, not all of you, of course. And then we have Pertho, future. So I do feel for a lot of you, there is like a second coming of this person. If it is someone from your past that you feel like you could reconnect with. If not, this is letting me know that both you and your person have a really wonderful future together. Again, not to feed delusions. This is somebody who's positive. But this is where I leave it, pile 3. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile 4. If you chose the moss agate bear, then we have your reading here for you about your first night with your future spouse. I do advise you to go to the intro to get more information on this kind of reading, but essentially we're going to look into the first night you spend with your future spouse. Level of spiciness may vary, because for some of you it may just be an evening that you both share, and for others of you it could lead to something more. Yeah, so we'll look at the circumstances surrounding that. We're going to start with the vibe check on you and your person. You, my pile 4, are going to be on the left. Your person's going to be on the right. Feel free to switch it around if you feel the need to do so. We're going to go ahead and get into the shared cards. So for pile 4, we have the Ace of Swords. It came out reversed, and I think it wants to stay reversed, even though I don't typically take reversals for the tarot if it's one of my my beginning cards. We also have, you may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. We also have power. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no or walk away at any time. And sweet surrender. Interesting. Okay, so there's definitely an issue here, whether it's you or your person together or by yourselves. of knowing that something isn't working out in your life, whether it's a job. For some of you, it could be a place that you're living in. Maybe it's just the town, the country that you live in. You realize that it's not a fit for you. And for some of you, it could be like another relationship, like maybe you've come out of one, or a friendship, or some sort of dynamic isn't working here. It could even be with each other, like maybe the kind of relationship that you have when you first meet each other is not working, so things have to be readjusted. But regardless, there is this theme of kind of not seeing the power you have within your life, or within your, within some aspect of your life. So let's go ahead and see. For you, my pile, we have the pilgrim. And interesting what I said about moving on to somewhere else, because a pilgrim is someone who seeks, one definition that I was taught growing up was that a pilgrim is someone who seeks spiritual or religious refuge. It could also be seeking spiritual guidance. So I feel like for a lot of you, you could be on a self journey. You could be on a journey of trying to rediscover yourself, or trying to find meaning in your life, which is really interesting. And I feel like there's like a power struggle between destiny and your free will that's coming through here, because the way life works is that it's equal parts destiny. Well, there's like a balance. Sometimes it's all destiny and sometimes it's all free will. But usually it's a blend of both. Like sometimes it's 75% free will, 30% destiny. Because any setbacks or anywhere where things haven't worked out, that's destiny at play. Hopefully you can't hear the lawnmowers. They kind of got loud. But yeah, our life is meant to be a combination, a beautiful blend of free will and things that just cannot be changed no matter how much our free will intends it to be. And then for your person, we have the self. So they're definitely going on a very similar journey here, where they are also focusing on themselves. You could have an interesting, similar views on power. Not only that, but you both are very powerful people. I just feel like when it comes to this connection, like you both kind of fight it a little bit, or you both may try to think better of it. Because the Ace of Swords reversed is like a denial, a refusal, just not wanting to deal with something. It's like, here's an idea, and it's a complete rejection. It could be a rejection kind of energy. So I feel like you both kind of flirt with the idea of it. Or you both may want something, I don't know, it's like a will they, won't they kind of situation between you and your person for sure. Because you're both dealing with the idea of power and what power means in a relationship. And also in your life, it's like, will a relationship take up too much time? Will a relationship be all-consuming? Because if there's one thing you and your person have in common, is that you both very much center yourselves in your lives, and you kind of wonder if it makes sense to center somebody else. I feel like you're more willing to do so than your person. That's coming through for sure. But the sweet surrender is interesting. It's almost like you can't hold back anymore, and eventually it does end up happening. And sometimes you may not even know why things happened the way they did, especially because I feel like the unraveling of this connection is a little bit unexpected, like a little bit, like it may even come out of nowhere, even for the both of you. I do get the feeling that the both of you will have known each other for some time before it happens, before the connection happens, or even if it's something more casual. If you're not dating, you're just kind of looking to have a little something, a little hookup here and there on the side while you're trying to find yourself or focusing on your career. I feel like it just happens. But you both retain a strong sense of individuality. Oh, I was also told to look at the back of the deck for this particular pile, because for this one we have a beautiful face. So one or the both of you would just be really, really good looking. I feel like somebody here has a face that makes the other person just melt, like they could look at that face all day. That could be important somehow. And then we have the castle. Again, you're both building your castles. You're both very much like in your own worlds. I'm getting like correspondence, and maybe this is literally just the both of you texting each other from afar, but I'm getting like one person in their castle sending like a letter, or even the messenger pigeons or messenger hawks to the other. It's like, will you come over? It's like, no, will you come over? Or it's like, hey, will you lower your defenses? Or it's like, no, you lower your defenses. You two are very similar in this regard. So there is a bit of power play here. I'm not going to lie, because you both want to regain control of yourselves or even within the connection. There's this feeling that there could be a little bit of a power struggle between the both of you. But yeah, this is definitely, I don't feel like you're not completely a couple your first night. That's definitely coming through for sure. It could take that first night or a few nights actually for the both of you to agree on that. Because it does feel like this starts off more casual. Important numbers here. We have 20, 29, 28. Those could be important ages, especially 29 and 28. And then 1 with the Ace of Swords. So January 20th through the 28th could be important. 20th through the 29th. 28, 29. Or so the first of any month. But yeah, if this sounds like you and your person, especially those of you who may currently have this, let's go ahead and get into your tarot. I will say this, you're both in a point and place in life where you kind of have yourselves figured out more than usual. Like you definitely have your career. You definitely have traveled. You've had life experiences to the point where you know what you want and don't want. And I do get a little bit of indecision when it comes to this particular pile. Because it feels like I said, it's a will they, won't they. All right, so your first night with your future spouse for pile 4. Pile 4. Somebody here has forgiven someone, I just heard. We also have the 8 of Coins. An established... I heard establishment. Like there's some sort of established... and by establishment, I mean like something that you both have established. Chiron, which is a healer. He was a teacher of many like Greek heroes, but also a healer in astrology. Chiron recently went into Taurus, which is my sign, which is going to be really interesting. But yeah, Chiron is a healer. There's something about healing what has already been. So this could be like healing the wounds that are already there, or healing what's... If you both have already established a connection previously, I feel like it's going to be healed for sure. You have the Queen of Cups, Phoebe. Maybe someone here is named Phoebe. But I'm also being drawn to the butterflies around. Oh, and these are crystals. Oh, I've never seen this up close. I thought these were just other butterflies or flowers, but they're actually crystals. Crystals could be important to you and your person. But butterfly, of course, makes me think of a transformation within this connection. Even the wings on her head here make me think of a connection, because the wings on the head are meant to embody a connection to source or being divinely guided, kind of like a halo with the angels. The wings on the head are very similar. But you see that more in Greek mythology. Because I don't think Greek mythology has angels, but they have the gods. So we have the 6 of Cups. I keep hearing, I've forgiven you. I keep hearing, I've forgiven you. I'm hearing it in Spanish too, specifically. Sometimes my messages come through in different languages. The languages that I know, of course, but I keep hearing... I've forgiven you. The Moon. Okay, this connection is very emotional. Despite yourselves, like let's say you're both very rational people. Let's say you're both very physical people. Like I feel like as people that people don't really know that well, you don't come off this way, but the both of you are insanely emotional. And I think this is one thing about each other is that you're capable of being vulnerable around each other because you feel... oh god, my throat. Yeah, maybe it's hard to communicate as well, but you're both very emotional people, very nostalgic people. You feel very deeply, and I feel like this connection has affected you both very deeply. Like there's been a lot of vulnerability here where you have shared each other's fears, past hopes, dreams. It's like you've seen... It's possible that one or the other or the both of you have seen each other in a dark night of the soul. And it's like once you've seen somebody at their lowest, it's kind of hard to unsee them as either a person or as either somebody that you have to acknowledge is healing. There's a lot of healing in this connection. This connection has brought that on. It may even be that your first night, you are just very emotionally vulnerable. You may talk about your hopes, dreams, your desires. You may talk about past situations that hurt you. That you may talk about, I'm getting hopes and fears. Maybe even the hopes and fears that a connection with each other would bring, or the hopes and fears of anything else. Because the Six of Cups is like reminiscing. So if you and this person have known each other for a long time, you could talk about like when you first met or what you thought of each other. But the moon also, it's like every conversation brings up more questions. Like, yes, it provides answer, but it brings up more questions. And this could be one of those cases where like it's a never ending conversation between you and your person. Hence why I kept getting like the correspondence where it's like back and forth texting. And I feel like through the conversations you have and through the realizations that you make within your conversations, because your conversations are not boring, if anything. They could be slightly triggering because of the things that I feel like it's easy for one or the both of you to say things that will just make the other person feel something. And that's why the questions come up. And I am trying to be slower when I talk, because when I channel energy, when I channel messages, they come in fast, and so therefore it makes me need to speak fast. But I'm having to slow down here because I need to ground this energy. Let's get more cards for pile 4. 5 of Wands. I keep hearing I don't want to fight. And I also keep hearing that it's almost like because you know that your conversations may lead to triggering emotions or conversations, you try to keep it light. So your first night together, it's more talk than anything. It's more trying to get to know each other. So you may definitely meet your future spouse at night, like on a date late at night, because I'm seeing like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. Like I'm seeing late night and maybe well into the early hours of the morning. But I do feel like you spend a lot of time together. I don't feel like it's that spicy. Like the 5 of Wands reversed, you're definitely thinking about it because the 5 of Wands reversed can be physical action. But reversed, it's like you're only thinking about it. You may even talk about it. Or like it's light. Like I'm seeing like maybe you graze each other's hands or like, you know, light touches here and there, but it's nothing super spicy. I feel like for the both of you, it's the mental and emotional connection that is more important. Because I'm feeling this in the heart right now. Knight of Cups. But you're very romantically interested in each other. I feel like this night is the night that... Ooh, Hangman. This is the night that you realize that you're really into each other. Yeah, because the Hangman, it's like something changes or a perspective changes. Because... let me get the rest of the cards. There's a realization here that you both are very into each other just by this conversation that you have. For some of you, it may lead to something more physical. But if it does, you take it more seriously than usual because of the weight of the emotional connection that you and your person have. You have the 9 of Swords. Anxiety. Somebody here could back off last minute due to anxiety. Or somebody here heals, like eases somebody's anxious energy. Yeah, it's almost like, let's say somebody has a tendency or a habit of becoming anxious like at night, or let's say they have a hard time sleeping at night for various reasons, or it's not easy for them to fall asleep. Let's say you're, for example, at each other's apartments and you're just like talking on the couch and you're just having a good time of it, and suddenly it's time for bed for one of the both of you, and you're like slowly falling asleep. And you notice that it's very easy to fall asleep right away next to this person. It's kind of like that. So again, regardless of what happens this night, because for a lot of you, it's not going to be anything physical. But if it is, just in case it is, then that's like how it would naturally progress. It's very easy to find comfort and home sleeping next to this person. Just the sleeping, not the why did I almost want to say the hokey pokey? Just the sleeping, like after the cuddles and the sleep. It's like, oh, this is so peaceful. This is so comforting for you and or your person. Whoever usually finds it more difficult to sleep. Like it's very natural. All right, let's get one more card. I keep hearing, I have forgiven you. What is that? We have Judgment reversed. Remember how I kept talking about free will in the beginning? I feel like the Judgment reversed here is coming through as free will. Almost like it was destined that the both of you were meant to have some other kind of connection. And at the last minute, or because of this night, things changed. Things changed very differently. For example, if you know for sure that children are in your life, that down the road or in your future, this person could end up being like the parent of your child, and that something gets overturned. Because we do make contracts when it comes to finding the parent of our child. That's something that I was kind of looking into because, you know, I feel like people don't think enough about the partner that they have whenever they want children. It's like, yes, I want to be a mother, but they never specify, okay, but with whom? But with whom? Or I want to be a parent. It's like, okay, but who's going to help you in the parenting job? Do you want anybody, or do you want to be a single parent? You know, things like that. That's just an example, but regardless, something changes in the what's it called? Soul contract here. It could even be with your person. Maybe you had a soul contract with this person to be some kind of relationship, and that changes here. Maybe they were only meant to be a friend, but they become more. Or maybe they were only meant to be like a one and done kind of thing, a short fling, and then things get overturned. Because Judgment reversed and the Nine of Swords reversed, somebody's anxiety kind of, it gets subdued, or it could even go away fully when this happens. And it's almost like somebody here was the answer to all the pressure or the alarm that was going off. You know when like the fire alarm is going off and it's just loud and annoying, you're like, I can't, and you have to press the button up top. It's like you found the step stool to finally reach that thing and just turn it off. The alarm stops. The alarm stops. And this is a very, very spiritual connection, very emotional and spiritual. Hence why I think the intimacy isn't so much sensual as it is everything else here. Don't get me wrong, the sensuality is good. Healing even. Again, I keep being brought back to Chiron here. Actually, all of these mythological people from Greek mythology are important. Because Athena is reversed, almost like it's time to stop thinking logically and it's time to start thinking with the heart. I'm not saying that Athena can't have heart, but you know, she is more known for logic and strategy. Chiron is a healer. And for a lot of you, your intimacy, whether it's physically or otherwise, is very healing. I would look into the asteroid Chiron in your astrology. It could be on each other's, it could be significant. Yeah. Like I said, Chiron and Taurus is going on right now. And if you have any strong Taurus placements, that could definitely be the case. We also have Morpheus, god of dreams. You could dream a lot about this person, or the dreams that you have regarding this person could be very influential. Or you could even, like the dreams you have when you sleep with this person could be very different. I don't know much about Phoebe, but like I said, that could be a name. Selene, the moon goddess. Zelus. There is kind of a warning about jealousy here. Like once you sleep with each other, the jealousy is going to be immense because it's almost like you're going to have a radar on each other of like who's talking to my pile for. It's going to be mutual. Like both they will know and you will know too because you're very psychic when it comes to that kind of stuff. When it comes to each other. And Prometheus, of course, who gave the fire to humankind and got punished for it. But he'd do it again, of course, because it sets them free. It's almost like, yeah, like there's a fire in this connection. And yeah, you're no longer free as individuals to pursue other people or to, you know how in a relationship, you just, certain things you can't always do. Like if you're going on a trip, you have to let them know and keep up with them, like stuff like that. But it's worth it because of the love and intimacy that you both share. Yeah, there's a lot of love in this connection. It is possible here that your person may be just slightly less experienced than you. They could be the one who suffers from anxiety. Also headaches, because I had a huge migraine before I came into this reading. It's still there actually, but yeah, it's almost like things calm down. Because like I said, I was trying to speak slower in this reading because I've been told that I speak too fast. And I'm just a fast talker. I'm sorry for those of you who do not speak English at that level. And even people who do speak English fluently will tell me I speak too fast. But I live in the South. Anyway, back of the deck, because I'm being called to it, temperance, balance. It's all a balancing act. It's all a balancing act of like what you both need. 8 of Cups, returning to your emotions, Page of Pentacles, and Tower. It's like undoing the past. A lot of you will heal through this connection. And it's just a connection that keeps on healing. Like it's beautiful. It's like a rechargeable battery, but here it's like a rechargeable healing. And you'll know this because it just happens. Like things get better and so much faster with this person. And this is a mutually beneficial thing. Like you do this for each other. So with that said, let's get into your person's channeled messages. Yeah, the level of spice in this one isn't as important because it is going to be good, but more than that, it's going to be healing. And it's almost like time slows down for you. Please don't go. They are not you. I don't know what to do. Yeah, this person holds on to you because you're not like anybody else that they've encountered. They could try to look for you in other people, and I don't think it would be the same. Because even if they look like you, they don't act like you, they don't speak like you, and they don't have your energy at all. I effed up. For some of you, it could be a case that maybe somebody here messes up a little bit. And there's like a little bit of a second chance. I don't feel like it's too big of a deal though. Like let's say somebody canceled on the first date because of the anxiety that you didn't really learn about until the date you finally actually go on. You know, it's kind of like that. So then you forgive it because it's like, okay, that's understandable. I want to get back together. Yeah, that's confirmation for those of you for whom this was a little bit of a false start. My intentions can be selfish at times. I feel like this is both of you actually, because especially if you're somebody who's very used to being single, you're so used to caring only about yourself that you forget that you have a little bit of a habit of selfishness, which is not a bad thing. I mean, when you've been single for a long time or when you've dedicated yourself to not really date anymore, it's just kind of a natural setting. So maybe that's something that you both have to overcome, is how to start caring about another person again. Not saying that you don't care, but it's like keeping them in your in the back of your head when you make decisions or when you make plans. It's like you can't just go willy-nilly doing nothing. When you're in a relationship, in a committed relationship, you have to take the other person into account. And that could even be a conversation that you both have. I am not sure what I am feeling. There is a lot of indecision here between both you and your person. So this may be a little bit on and off for sure. Like a will they, won't they. I keep getting that. A will they or will they not get in this connection? And I heard something about you. And back of the deck, I feel stuck. It's almost like anytime you're not around each other, specifically more from your person than you, I feel like they get very stuck when they're not with you. But when you're in their life, it's almost like things make sense. I don't know if you provide a lot of good guidance to them or if you just kind of naturally trigger their intuition or even the manifestation, whatever the little manifestation gland is within us. You may trigger that a little bit for this person, which makes sense because I've been actually the past day or so, I've been having a little bit of brain fog, and just right now I've gotten clarity, and it almost feels like that where things finally make sense. It's like, oh God, finally I can think straight, I can focus on something. I'm getting that with your person, like things just make sense. Let's get your runes to close you off, pile 4. All right, we have Ingus. Like I said, fertility is high with your person. If you thought you were not going to be a parent, maybe this is one of those connections that kind of changes that for you. Take that only if it resonates, of course. If not, this could also just be, this makes you very creative. This person could trigger your creativity. They could be a muse. We have Gebo, which is like, it's an exchange, but it can also be seen as the marriage rune. And then we have Manus, which I think stands for human or person. Like, this kind of restores your faith in people as well, or it makes you really care about people. Maybe both you and your person are very humanitarian, or you feel very deeply about the people around you. Yeah, strong water energy here for sure. Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. You could have any of those placements in very significant positions in your chart. But yeah, this is where I leave it, pile 4. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. I'm sending you and your person so much love. I'll see you around. Take care. Hello there, pile 5. If you chose the Tibetan quartz, then we have a reading here for you about your first night with your future spouse. I do advise you to go to the intro to get more information on the kind of reading this is, but essentially, we're looking into the first night with your future spouse. Level of spiciness may vary because depending on what kind of night you had, it may be something sweet, innocent, or it may be something more, a little bit more risque. So we're going to start with you and your person. We're going to look at the oracles to see if this is you and your person, the vibe check, basically. And we're going to look at your connecting energies as well. Let's start with that. And then we will get into the tarot to see how the actual first night is. So we have the 7 of Swords. I'm getting that both of you may not be what the other thinks. Is what I'm getting. Like, you may be very different people, or you may be trying to be coming off as somebody else. Maybe this is on purpose. For example, if this is like a theater group, or if this is like a costume party or something where you kind of have to be someone else, that would explain a lot. Or even at work, sometimes we present a different person in our professional environment rather than our personal life. We also have, when it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. And then we have the lady who waits. Okay, so if there is a lady involved in this couple, they're definitely going to be the one who gets approached, or maybe even be the one who is waiting. I'm intending you, pile 5, to be on the left side and your person to be on the right. Feel free to flip it around if you feel the need to do so. We have the Venom and the Gem. So you're going through a moment in life where you're still looking really good. You're shining. You're looking very attractive to people. Like, people around you literally see you as a gem, a diamond, a jewel. You're sparkling, you're glittering, your aura is amazing. But deep down, there's like a venom. It's like either you're going through something difficult, whether that is something personal, maybe a health issue, or maybe like a personal emotional issue. Like maybe there's a drama in the family, or maybe you're heartbroken, because the venom feels like it's not showing. Because it was the first card to come out, I feel like you feel more than anything, like really, like even you will admit to yourself that you are in crappy energy when you meet your person, or when you spend this first night with your future spouse or future person. Pile 5. There's also something about being very there's like an erratic energy. So you may be busy, or you may have a lot going on. Like you have work and then something outside of work, and on top of that, you're having to focus on yourself, or not really being able to focus on yourself. Or the only focus you may have on yourself is your physical appearance, because you don't want it to show that people, you don't want people to notice that you are going through something. Very strong Leo energy with the gem, because Leos will be the kind to mask anything that's going on in their life, because the show must go on. So strong Leo, maybe Aquarius energy here as well. And then for your person, okay, we got 3 cards for them. We have the Underworld, the Shaman, the Lover. Ooh, okay. Your person, first of all, they love healing. They love a deep person. Your person is a lover by nature. Like, they're big lover boy, lover girl energy. This person loves love. They like the idea of love, and even though they've been heartbroken several times before, it's almost like they never really give up on it. They're definitely very charming, very sweet, also very, very elegant. There's also the feeling that your person is a very healing person. The Shaman lets me know that they're a healer. Whether it's literally like maybe they're a doctor or a nurse, or they work in some sort of health field where they heal. Or this could be energetically. Maybe they know how to transmute energy. Whether they do this intentionally or not, I guess we'll find out. Or you can find that out on your own. But the underworld lets me know that they're kind of used to very deep and dark situations. They're used to drama. They may have grown up in it as well. They're used to difficulties and issues like this. They're not afraid of the underworld. They're not afraid of looking deep within the psyche. So I feel like you meet at a very appropriate time. Like I said, you're both masking. So it's likely or possible that your person could be going through something similar where they're hiding the pain of something or some emotional distraught of whatever's going on in their life. But I feel like the Seven of Swords, this could easily be you, because of the energy that I was picking up on this. Maybe when you meet your person, you pretend that everything is fine. And I'm not calling you a liar, but you're definitely not being completely honest. And that's fair, because I feel like if this is like your first meeting with this person, you're not going to tell them all about your life right away. At least not with this person, not in this instance. And your person possibly picking up that you also are not ready to share. Or picking up that I feel like your person may not be entirely honest. Not in a malicious way, though. You have to understand, like, yes, the beginning of this connection, you're different people, or you're masking things that are going on in your life. But it's not to hurt each other, and it's intentional, but it's more like to protect the self. It's more defensive, whatever these fibs and white lies that are coming through are. So we'll look into that, because I feel like that could be something important here as well. But like I said, the lady, whoever is the woman here, or whoever is in the more feminine energy, is left waiting or may have to wait. I guess it depends on you and your person, because I honestly, some of you could easily identify with the lover here. I almost called it the swan. The swan here on the right. Yeah, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding. And I feel like there's a possibility here that, how do I say this? For some of you, it could be on and off. And then for others of you, it would be like getting off on the wrong foot, or things not starting ideally. Or just, again, there's like a little bit of dishonesty, but only because I don't think either of you understood how important you would be to each other in the future or as time went on. For a lot of you, you may currently be with this person, and you would know because you would look back and be like, yeah, actually, I told them that I wasn't looking for a person and I actually was. Or maybe they told you that they weren't looking for romance and they were. Or sometimes people, I used to do this when I was younger. I would lie about being in a relationship because I just did not want to be bothered by people who wanted to date me. And I'd be like, you know what? No, I'm taken, actually. I'm taken. You know, maybe one of you said this in the beginning, just to kind of, again, you didn't know what you would be to each other. Not only that, but you don't really owe strangers the truth until you get to know them. At least that's how I view it. Just maybe because I'm a girl and I have to lie sometimes to protect myself. But maybe that's just me. Regardless. Yeah. Okay, important numbers, 7 and 1. So July 1st or the 1st of any month could be important. The 7th of any month could be important. January could be important. We have 17. We have 16. And we have, this is 68. By the way, for some of you, you could be 16, 17 when you meet, like if you were really young when you met each other. Hopefully this isn't the case where one of you is 17 and you lie that you're 20. Please don't do that. Please don't. But I know it also happens. Gosh, I hope it doesn't here. We also have 56 and 63. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the tarot. If this sounds like you and your person for sure, or you know this would be you, or if this dynamic doesn't bother you at all, because I could see how it would bother some of you. But yeah, so I'm going to use the Mythos Tarot for this one. Pile 5, first night with your future spouse. And I do feel like you both come clear about something, of course, as time goes on. I don't feel like these lies remain forever, or like whatever this is remains forever. For example, some people will say they're single when they're still going through a divorce and they're technically not divorced yet. I know that's a thing. Or, yeah. We have the Four of Pentacles. I'm hearing don't go. This person may hold you longer than usual, or you may hold them longer. But I do get the feeling it might be your person more than you. We have the Fool reversed, Ace of Cups reversed. You honestly don't believe this is going to last any longer than it does. Or you may only think it's a fling, or you may only... For some of you, if you met during like a vacation or a brief trip somewhere, you may think it's just that. Like, you're not going to see this person again. Yeah. Because I don't see any intent of the either of you wanting to create a relationship. But you can't help but like be really drawn to each other. I am getting for some of you, you might meet like at a party or at a gathering, or I'm getting nightclub vibes or something similar, like a bar or something like that. We have the Page of Cups. Like I said, neither of you are really looking for love. Neither of you are really looking for love when you... I do feel like you spend your first night... This feels like a fling or like a one-time thing or something casual. I feel like neither of you are really looking for love. But you're very drawn to each other. I'm getting a lot of flirtatious energy and almost like a magneticism. Like you're both very naturally magnetized towards each other. You can't really stay away from each other. For some of you, you may not be able to keep your hands off each other either. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Seriously, you do not believe this is going to last any longer than it does, which is kind of interesting. And I think it's that very energy of not thinking it's going to last long that ironically keeps you together. Because especially if this is my group of people who get very bored in love, or, you just feel like love or relationships take too much energy. I feel like this lighthearted energy that is coming through here, ironically, is what makes you want to keep coming back to this person. Because you both keep it either very casual, or you're just both like... You're taking it as it goes. I'm sorry if you can hear the noise in the background, by the way. The kids are being noisy. My neighbor's kids. The neighborhood kids. Anyway, we have the Six of Wands. Somebody may have lost something. Again, you're masking a hurt. You're masking a hurt here. Somebody could have lost something, or just be like... It's like an internal pity party. It is possible that maybe the friends went out because like somebody's friends, whether it's your friends or their friends, went out to make somebody feel better. And this is where you meet. Almost like something positive comes out of something negative. And if you had never gone out this night, you would not have met. We have Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords came out in a lot of these piles, I'll be honest. There is some sort of anxiousness, but... Somebody here suffers from a lot of anxiety, or is very prone to being very anxious, and the other person soothes them. Again, if you're coming from a pile where there was like a similar message, this could just be like further elaborating on that, or it could be, I think for a lot of people, I think I'm starting to pick up a pattern that a lot of people do just like to end up marrying the person that makes them feel less anxious, the person who calms them down, which is kind of interesting because I never really thought of it that way. I never question about why people marry other people, because when I do, I get so many, as an intuitive person, I get so many answers that some of them I don't like, I'll be honest. But here, quite the opposite. You're both very just naturally attracted to each other. There's like an ease between you and your person. There's also like a sense of friendship, but I feel like the friendship comes later. Like after, for a lot of you, this does feel like a hookup on the first night. Maybe possibly even the first night that you meet, or the first date that you go on. And then after that, like a friendship develops or something else comes along. It's possible that that maybe one of you can't have anything long-term, so you may decide to remain like friends, but every time you see each other, you know, something happens or you decide to date. Because I get the feeling that maybe one person here travels a lot for work or doesn't stay in one place too long for work. But yeah, I'm getting that this person, the person who is your future spouse, they could soothe your anxiety. Maybe you do that to them. But it's just like you make each other feel better. So even though you may be going through something difficult or there may have been a loss the night that you both spent together, you feel like winners because you found each other and you're with each other. We have the Queen of Cups. And look, somebody here, this could be you, but it could also be your person. Again, whoever the feminine is here, the lady who waits, just to bring back that card. In fact, she's right here. Yeah, it's right here. The lady who waits, like she's waiting for somebody. It could be, this kind of feels like Cinderella. You know how in Cinderella, she has to leave by midnight because of the spell and she drops her shoe. And the prince is like holding onto that shoe, hoping to see her again. It feels like that, where like you have one wonderful night together, whether it's just talking or getting to know each other or getting to ease each other's worries. And then you don't hear from them again. You don't see them again. Maybe you even exchange your numbers or socials, but you don't hear from them. Or you expect them to text back, or you text them, but they never text back for a while. It kind of feels like that. So for a lot of you, it's going to be a wonderful night where a lot of you can see like a potential future, but at the same time, you're not worried about it. It's kind of like you talk and you say all the things that you each want, or you get to know each other, and it's very, very easygoing. Like the more I tap into this energy, the more calm I feel. But then you don't hear from them. You may wonder like if they want something at all. And of course they do, because they end up being your future spouse. The only issue I see, other than that initial, maybe you meet during like a retrograde, a Mercury retrograde or a Venus retrograde, which is not the end of the world if you do. It's like, it's interesting that this ends up being your future spouse, because everything feels so temporary or living for the moment. I'm curious as to how you get together then. Let me pick cards for that. I didn't really do that for the other piles. It's like, if it's your person going through the venom or you going through the venom, maybe you have to wait for that to clear. Like you have to wait for something to pass. You have to wait for something to be good. But there are a lot of emotions. Your person definitely adores you and you adore them as well. You have the Three of Cups. You could get help from friends. If you have friends in common or friends who like, for those of you who have a friend who loves to stalk online, the friend who Googles something and ends up finding out like the entire history of anybody, they could definitely help you out. Or if you have friends in common, if you know you have friends that you both share, you could definitely ask for their help. Or maybe you hear about your person through them. I do feel like you stay and remain friends though. Like you and this person stay friends for a little bit before you date. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, fate has a funny way of playing around in this energy, in this particular dynamic. Because you will be left wondering about this person for some time. But I don't feel like it doesn't throw your world around or anything. It's just, nor do you really freak out about it, because again, you're going through your own things, they're going through their own things. It's kind of like you just happen to find something romantic with somebody, something wonderful, but then it doesn't happen until much later, because the Wheel of Fortune is divine timing. And divine timing here, you're not going to be happy with the divine timing, but once it happens, you will be. You have Death reversed. Maybe quite literally somebody could be dealing with death, but also somebody has to go through a transformation before this really becomes something permanent. So you have a night with your person. Level of spice here. For some of you, you will definitely hook up on the first night. For others of you, you won't. It all depends. The importance here is that, well, one, You both know it's not really going to be long-lasting. Neither of you are really betting on this to being long-lasting. And 2, anxiety is spoken about, but one person here makes the other feel better. Back of the deck is the Ace of Wands reversed. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. For those of you for whom you don't end up hooking up together, they definitely thought about it and they probably really wanted to, but something kept them back. I'm not sure why. Again, if we're talking about like people going through a divorce and they want to respect their ex-spouse and wait until everything is like finalized, that would make sense. For others of you, this would be like maybe this person wants to wait until they know they can give you something worthwhile and long-lasting and more committed, more stable. And again, that's fair. Or maybe you hold off. Maybe you want to wait until whatever time you feel is appropriate, whether that's marriage or something different. But I feel like you both wait, but definitely you're both turned on. Like whatever night you have together, you're both feeling it, but it doesn't happen. For those of you for whom it doesn't happen. If it does happen, then you already know. And if it does, I'll go ahead and let you know. It's going to be one of those sessions where a lot of emotion comes out. You're very vulnerable with each other. And you talk about it. And you're made to feel very, very loved and very welcomed. That's an interesting way to put it, to feel welcome after, a night of intimacy. It's not like, wham, bam, all right, close the door on your way out. No, it's wham, bam, you want to talk about it? Definitely pillow talk if so. But yeah, this one is interesting. I'm curious to see, well, if you ever find this future spouse, because for a lot of you, I don't know if you know them yet. For some of you, you do, and others you don't. I think you will know. Not to feed delusions about a one-night stand either, by the way. Because you do keep in contact, even if it's just like minimal. But I feel like they do ghost you for a day or two after. But then they come back because of some friends or because friends are involved somehow, whether it's yours, theirs, mutual friends. Yeah, which is interesting. So with that said, pile 5, let's go ahead and get into your person's channeled messages, your future spouse's channeled messages. I kept calling them person here. For some of you, you may decide you don't want to have marriage or want to get married and you just end up being like long-term committed partners, which is fine. That's okay, of course. But that's only a few of you because I kept saying future person here as opposed to spouse. Okay, pile 5. We have, I am planning on messaging you soon. It's possible that this person really did want to message you right after, but couldn't for several reasons. For example, like if they travel to places where there's no connection, or maybe they forgot to buy like a SIM card for their phone. Maybe they can't receive any messages. Because that's happened to me where I could only receive messages from people on my plan, which would be my family. Whenever I travel. So maybe something like that happens. So maybe they didn't mean to ghost you, or maybe quite literally they lost their phone. I feel connected to you. You both feel the connection right away for sure. I can't get over you. Yeah, it's like you both can't get over each other. I've been up all night thinking about you. Oh, they definitely think about you after they meet you or after. It's funny that I kept saying meeting because I feel like for some of you, you definitely meet the person the first night that you hang out with them. Like the same night that you hang out, the same night that you meet is the night you hang out. So that's your first night with your person. It could just be like a night of talking to each other and getting to know each other. And for those of you for whom you are okay hooking up with the person when you meet them, because I know there's people like that out there, that could also be the case. I want more than what we have. Yeah, and I feel like you both express that to each other, that you both really like each other and want more. For some of you, for whatever reason, I am picking up on LGBTQ vibes here, but only if that resonates, of course. Because I'm thinking of people who have been this way, and I know it's mostly my gay friends who are like this. They'll tell me, oh, I met my husband that first night and we've never been apart. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, we met each other, slept the first night, and we've never been apart. And now they're like 60 or whatever. And I'm like, geez. Kudos to the gay couples who somehow make it work despite all the odds. Okay, we have, I heard something about you. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I said, you may hear about them through a friend, and maybe the friend is like, oh yeah, pile 5 went through this, and then they remember to message you or they reach back out. So yeah, I feel like for a lot of you, you may have friends in common. Okay, this one popped out. I effed up. I feel like this person will never forgive themselves for not messaging you right away after, or for not letting you know about something, because the communication's off. Like I said, Mercury retrograde could be involved here somehow. Or the lack of communication. I have a hard time communicating. Well, there it is. Yeah, maybe this person just has a lot of social anxiety. And they just don't know what to say, or like they don't know, like even to them, they would overthink a basic message that says, oh, I had a fun night with you or something. I guess it all depends on what happens in this night, because for a lot of you, like I said, you get very vulnerable with each other and open up a lot about certain things. And you know, when you have regret about oversharing, maybe one of you has this for sure. Could be your person, it could be you. For some of you, maybe you're the one who didn't message right away when you wanted to. Just, it's possible, but for a lot of you, it might be your person. And I'm spying on you. Look, if your person's social anxiety is that bad, they could like look at your socials but never reach out. Or look at your socials, but maybe a friend has to force them to message you. Or gosh, if they have these friends, bless them. They might have a friend who like messages you for them, like through their phone. It's like, give me your phone. I'm going to send them I'm going to send pile 5 a message so you can see them again. And if so, that's going to be the best man or woman at your wedding, I can tell. But regardless, pile 5, did I do runes? I'm going to do runes for you. I'm pretty sure I did. It's been like a day or two since I started this. Okay, so let's see. We have a lagoos. A lake could be important. Also healing. So somebody could be healing, because like I said, you're both going through stuff when you meet each other. One of you could be healing. We have Raido, travel. Again, I did mention travel. I do feel somebody here travels a lot, or work could be like they do the kind of travel that is very hectic in their work or career. And then we also have, is this Jera? Jera. Never pronounce it that way. That's kind of interesting. Certain accents come through me when I'm channeling messages, by the way. Oh my God, where is it? Yeah, success. There's something successful about this connection. It's almost like you both meet success whenever you get together. So your luck could turn around once you get together, or once you make this an official situation. But yeah, this is what I have for you, pile 5. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. I'm sending you and your future spouse so much love. Take care.